Welcome back to a new data science tutorial. In this video we are going to be talking about Dask. Dask is a parallel computing library and it's great for working with big data because it lets us work with data sets that don't fit in memory. So with Dask we are going to be able to work with larger data sets than our computer can work with. I'm going to show you the common methods and how you can use it. So let's start coding. Okay, let's start. I'm going to use VS Code as my code editor, but you can use any code editor that you want. And let's create a file like dask.ipmb. So we are going to work on a Jupyter notebook. And I'm going to select my kernel. And I want to start by how you can install the Dask. So for installing the Dask, you will say pip install on the terminal. You will say Dask complete with brackets. And you can say quiet for not seeing the logs. And if you are using Linux or Mac, you will say pip3 instead of pip. And after that you are going to have the Dask. And next, before directly start to coding, let's talk about the Dask. It's a parallel computing library that scales Python apps from a single machine to large clusters. It works like pandas, numpy and scikit-learn, but for bigger than memory data. It reads and processes data in chunks, and it has lazy execution option, which means that operations are only run when that compute is called. So, in this video we are going to create a data set quickly, a big data set, then we are going to compare pandas with Dask, and I'm going to show you the Dask syntax and how you can do the analysis using Dask, just like pandas. Okay, let's set number of rows at the first place. Like let's say we are going to work with a 2 million row data. Let's say it like this. And let's do our imports. We will say import dask.dataframe td, import pandas as pd, import numpy as np, and import time like this. Next up, when these are imported, I prepared a code for creating the data frame because I didn't want this operation to take too much time. And on the ID side we have integers, on name we have strings, 4 options, on the age we have integers, salary integers, in here we have strings in the department, and on the join date we have the dates. And I'm going to make it run like this. Next I will say pandas data frame, and I will pass this to data, and let's now just export it to a CSV file. Data frame to CSV, large dataset .csv, and let's set the index as false. So I'm going to make it run, and we are going to have the CSV file in here. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's make it like 5 million, and I'm going to make it run, and I'm going to make all of that run again. And after that, we can just work with this data. Let's compare the times. So at the first place, I will say start, and I will use time.time. And next, I'm going to read this data using pandas. So I will say data frame pandas is going to be pandas read CSV, the large dataset CSV file in here, like this. And at the end, I will say time.time. So we can say print pandas load time and minus start and float like this, seconds. And I'm going to make it run to see the result. Here we can see that it's 1.41 seconds. Now I'm going to do the same operation with Dask. So I will say start, time, and next I will say data frame Dask, read CSV, large dataset CSV, and I will say time.time at the end. And also in here I will say print Dask load time, and I will pass end minus start, and again I will format it like this, and I will say seconds. And here you can see that it loaded up instantly. You can see the difference. So why do we have this difference? Pandas loads everything into memory immediately, but Dask loads lazily, creating a task graph. Like let me call the data frame Dask. This only shows partitions instead of the actual data. Like right now on the pandas side we have the dataset loaded in here, but on the Dask side, we actually don't really have it like read it, but we have our data frame Dask ready to run codes on or just analyze. When we execute the commands, it's going to read the relevant parts and it's going to make the operations. Okay, let's do the operations. Let's start with basic data analysis code. I will say data frame Dask that head. So here we can see that we have the first 5 entries in here. Let's see the shape. I will say data frame Dask dot shape, and let's take the row count in here, and in here we need compute. Like I'm going to call this with the compute command. We can see that we have 5 million rows. And let's select columns like data frame Dask name salary dot head, and I'm going to make it run. Here we are going to see that we have these 2 ready. Let's say head 30 instead of the default value of 5. We are going to see the first 30. So I think you got it better right now. We have the schema in here, and when we do the queries, we have the results based on that, but it's not loading everything into the memory, and with this option it fits into the computer, and it's a pretty useful library for big data sets. And let's continue on its syntax. Like let's take the average salary, data frame Dask salary dot mean, and in here we again need compute, and we are going to see that we have this average salary, and most pandas methods work with Dask. Let's do more complex operations. Let's do filtering at the first place. Let's say data frame Dask, let's say like data frame Dask, we want to filter the salary which higher than 100,000, and I will use that head after that. So we are going to have that results. Let's say tail instead of head. We will see the last 5 like this too. Let's do a group by. Let's group the salaries by department. So for that we will say data frame Dask, just like pandas. I will say group by, I will call department, and I'm going to take the salaries in here, and next what I'm going to say is that mean, and I will use that compute. So we are going to have this ready in here. Okay, now let's talk about sorting. Sorting is supported too, but it can be expensive on computational power side. So it needs shuffling data across partitions, so it's slower than filtering or grouping. Let's do an example. Data frame Dask, sort values salary, let's say ascending equals to false, and let's say head after that, just to see how it's going to go. It's going to be 1.9 seconds. At the upper side we have this group by operation, it runs in 1.2 seconds. Like it's like 50% faster. Okay, let's filter the data by multiple conditions. Data frame Dask, at the first place let's say data frame Dask department equals to IT, and data frame Dask salary greater than 120,000, and we can just say that head 10 after this. So we are going to have this result ready. Now let's also do like value counts. I will say data frame Dask department dot value counts, and I will say compute after that, and our result is going to be in here. And we can get like descriptive statistics. Let's say data frame Dask describe, and I will say compute. As you can see, most of the commands of the Dask is similar with pandas, and also the outputs are similar. Like in the describe we have the exact same metrics in here for every column that we have numerical data on. And we can sample our data memory friendly. Like let's say data frame Dask, we have sample function, and we can set like fracture 0.001, and we can say compute. And in here when I run that, we are going to see that we are going to have a 5,000 rows sample in here, and we are not reading the full data set into memory. and we can get informations on partitions, like let's say data frame Dask dot number of partitions, and it's going to return 3, which means that we have 3 chunks of the data set. And we can say like data frame Dask get partition 0.head, and in here we are going to go into the first chunk and we are going to get the first 5 rows of that. Okay, that was it. If you are working with a really big data that don't fit into the memory, you can just use Dask. It's a great option and it's pretty useful for big data sets, and I recommend using it since it's having a syntax just like pandas, which makes it easier to work with it, and also it's great for quick insights or analysis. Thank you. Let's get to the outro. Thanks for watching this tutorial on Dask. I'm sharing data science tutorials on my channel. You can subscribe for more videos like this. Also, I have a playlist named Data Analysis Tutorials where I have more than 40 videos just like this one. You can check that playlist for more videos like this. Have a great day.